Well, good morning, everyone. Hopefully, you guys are all doing good. Just kind of listening to music. I don't know. Today, I'm ready, but also, I'm kind of exhausted. I was editing videos basically all yesterday. Um, Kind of feeling exhausted, but I'm gonna keep going. Alright. I don't know. Maybe I should just relax and be a little bit more chill because, as you can see, I feel like I'm looking all clean and pretty and younger. Like I look like I lost 5 years right now, and it's because I don't know. Well, I shaved obviously, but like I don't know. Like sometimes I get in my head. I'm like I gotta look like make sure I don't look crazy on the stream, but I'm like maybe I don't care. I don't know. I don't care because if I cared, then I would not do streams from my bed. That's for sure. So, yeah, let's talk about what we got going on. So, first things first, we have a 1 hour for Viagap. Maybe I do want a hoodie. You know what? Maybe I do want a hoodie. I'm changing my mind. Wait a sec. Is there music playing on the stream? Hopefully not. Well, it's playing in my AirPods, so hopefully it's not playing on the stream. Yeah, I don't think it would be because it was playing in my AirPods. I'm just gonna close out of Spotify and then put my AirPods away. I don't need to listen to music right now. It's fine. Obviously, I wanted to. No music? Okay, cool. Good to know. The other time I was listening to music and it was like apparently Kirk said it was a dance party. Okay, maybe I do want a hoodie. I don't know, like what I'm trying to get at is like when I get on the stream, like maybe at the very beginning, like I'm trying to I don't know, be a certain way. Like I wanna be professional, but also like I don't know, I kinda just have to be me and like at the same time I don't want to have to I don't know just look a certain way, just because I should, right? For me, I just want to like be me, and sometimes that's just me in a hoodie. I don't know. Sometimes you just gotta be yourself, and that's just how it is. Okay, so what I'm liking so far about today is we have this fair value gap, and this is just the most obvious thing on the chart right now is this fair value gap. So if we do end up respecting this, we could see a move from IRL to ERL to this ERL. So 1 hour for value gap. The other thing I like about this gap here is it's also at the bottom, it's a new week opening gap here. That's the other thing I like about this. So you can see how that's a additional confluence there, right? So the next thing that I wanted to talk about here is that you can see you could have framed out a model, right? You could have framed out a model where we had a 5-minute change in state right there. That would have been a perfect entry actually, and you could have entered on the retest of that 5-minute change in state. I actually do think that is it's a pretty obvious trade. Now then again, you'd have to be on the chart at that exact time, but 5-minute change in state, out of the bottom of this 1 hour for value gap, and clearly we had a giant range above. So I think this would have been pretty clean. 1 hour for value gap, and then a 5-minute change in state here with the new week opening gap as well. And maybe we want to mark the new week opening gap like this, because if you think about it, right, as I always say, we got to conceptualize the gap. Like, what does the gap even mean? We want to actually look for where's the actual gap. This is the new week opening gap, but there's the most inefficient area of price delivery is kind of like right here. You kind of see how you can kind of just use common sense to identify a more specific area of price. Kind of cool, right? See how I used common sense? Like this little wick to that wick is like the true gap, and then would you look at that? It's more sensitive, right? So that's just something you'll like. You just mess around with the charts and you realize things like that. And you can see how that becomes a lot more precise. So 5-minute change in state. Clearly this is expanding us higher, right? 1 projection up, 2 projections up, 3 projections up. Soon to be 4 projections up. We had a 2022 model as well, right? We had a liquidity sweep, right? We sweep out these lows. Let's just call it these lows here. So, liquidity sweep. And then break of structure on the 5-minute, and then a fair value gap. So yeah, very clear market maker model going on right now to the upside. That's how I see it. Whoops. So what's next? Well, that is the hard part, isn't it? That is the hard part, unfortunately. I wish it was easy, just as easy to predict like the next move as it is what's already happening, but we just keep going. So let's go ahead and put this in the Discord. Maybe plop this in my general channel, right? In my Jake General here. And then we could put this in 1 hour, 5-minute models. So, okay, what next? Well, as I said, on the higher time frame, I said this yesterday, on the higher time frame, let's delete this for a second. On the higher time frame, we inverse this 4 hour for value gap. And we had a sweep of the range lows below the true month open. And this seems like a pretty decent inversion to maybe draw up to all-time highs. Kind of see this as void here. So 4 hour IPG. So with that in mind, basically I'm expecting fair value gaps to hold and then expansion to external highs on the low time frame. That's probably what I would say. Now, could it be super wrong? Sure. And that's why I'm just, I'm just talking. I don't know. I don't know for sure. But anyway, yeah, let's keep looking around. Always good to look for SMTs. I kind of did a little bit of a scout for SMTs. Wasn't seeing a ton. Let's see, where's the RTH gap likely to form? Right? Let's just draw this out and look. So we'll actually get RTH gap to the downside. Something to consider, right? Right, RTH gap will likely be to the downside unless something weird happened. But yeah, we'll likely get this RTH gap to the downside. And in my general channel, by the way, guys, it is very rough draft notes. Like, a lot of it might just be gibberish. And honestly, that's just kind of how it is. Like, I just kind of just plop down anything I notice. Each gap will likely form to the downside. Man, I could have my own TV show. Think about it. Like, the weather guy talks about the weather for an hour and a half. You could talk about all the different stuff going on in the market for an hour and a half, bro. There's like unlimited stuff to talk about. Like, we're gonna get an RTH gap to the downside. 4 hour has inverse to the upside. We have accumulation, manipulation of the true month open, expansion higher. We could possibly see this area here as a void with the external high being the drawn liquidity as all-time highs, but keep in mind the RTH gap below could need to get filled. I can do it, bro. I'm the weatherman for trading. But yeah, okay, what next? What do we have SMT though? Like, genuinely. I should probably get everything else set up. Okay, I'm gonna get out Top Step and the other one. On the East Coast. Hi, my uncle. Sorry, I'm trying to pay attention to. I'm trying to set up the accounts right now. I actually, the reason it's taking me longer is I got a new account with Tradeify, and I decided to do that. But I'm honestly really confused because it says the data is delayed. But why would it not come with? It should be free. It should be free. It's supposed to be free. It's supposed to be free. Oh, I need to have my country associated with my account. The heck? Well, how do I do that? Okay, wait. Sorry, guys. I'm just going on a little bit of a tangent here, but I need to figure this out. Okay. Oh, this is kind of cool. Country. My country's right there. It says it right there. Country. Let's just refresh it. Oh, there we go. Found it. What? Okay, now let's see. It's actually making me pay for the... But it's supposed to be free. I don't know. Hey, what up, MNQ Trade? Good morning. I'm a little distracted right now because I'm trying to set up this new account that I got over the weekend. But just bear with me. Right now, so just so you guys know what I'm kind of thinking. Right now, higher time frame, right? Let's start out the top down, right? Top. This is kind of what I'm thinking. Top down, holding this daily for value gap. It looks like these bodies are all respecting this. This is just my own opinion. You guys gotta have your own opinion as well, and that's gonna come from your own analysis. So let me know if you disagree. But this is kind of what I'm thinking right now. We have a daily for value gap, right? So that's kind of like the higher time frame level. We swept liquidity into it. Then on the 4 hour, we took out the true month open, so this was kind of accumulation, manipulation, and then 4 hour inversion right here. And then next, going on lower time frame, dropping down to 1 hour, we had this 1 hour gap here. I guess that's 2 hour, 1 hour gap here, and so far we are respecting it. Something to keep in mind though is we do have a RTH gap that will form to the downside, so we'll just have to see. We might end up getting one final manipulation lower and then higher. I don't know. Yeah, in general I'm bullish. So 4 hour for value gap here, and then not 4 hour, 1 hour for value gap. And then what I was saying is that on the 5 minute, we got change in state at the bottom of it. So this would have been a nice entry for a long, right? Because accumulation, manipulation, 5 minute change in state, and now we're expanding up. Obviously, if I had been on the charts at that time, that would have been perfect, but was not on the charts at that time. So then you can see so this was the change. This was the flow state entry, right, on the 5 minute change in state right here. That was the flow state entry. See how that was a 5 minute change in state delivery at the bottom of the gap, and then we expanded up. And then the 2022 model happens next, right? So liquidity sweep for value gap. So there's that 2022 model. Now, as always, it's so much easier to take this on hindsight. There's SSMT between US 100 and US 100. Ooh, I mean US 30 and US 100. Ooh, very interesting. Let's actually take a look at that. Bearish or bullish? And on what time frame? Anyway, I gotta kind of finish setting this account up, so just hang on 1 second. It's being a pain. It wants me to buy the data when it should come with the account. I'm just gonna buy it. It's not that big a deal. It's just kind of annoying because you have to buy data every single time you want to get a different account. So stupid. But it's whatever. I'm just gonna do it. I put a country code associated with my account. What? I put a country associated with my account. I already did that. Okay, hang on. Alright. Let's try this. So I'm putting in this information on the 15 minute. Okay, good to know. Okay, hopefully this fixes it. Let's see if it'll work. Alright. Live account is required. Okay, so why can't I just get the... Why is the data delayed then? Sorry, guys. So there must be something I need to sign. There's got to be something I need to sign. Once again, guys, sorry, I'm distracted right now. I'm trying to figure out why the data's delayed. Tradify is actually pretty sweet. Prop firm. I'm liking it. I don't know what to do. It's just delayed. I don't know what to do here. Well, let's just keep watching price. Right now, I guess there's not anything I like. I liked the 2022 model right here, but that's kind of long gone. We very much are past that. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm gonna go to the help center. All new Tradify users must sign the not. Okay, how do I do that? I must have already signed. It's probably just taken like a little bit of time to be verified. That's probably what it is. Alright, that's probably what it is. It sounds like it takes possibly up to 90 minutes for the data to show up. That's probably what it is. How do I know if I signed the non-professional agreement? Whatever. That's probably what it is. So I'll just ignore it then. Okay, guys, let's just do. I'm just gonna trade Top Step and maybe personal if it'll let me today. So, yeah. Okay, so I guess let's actually get back into it and start looking at what we got going on. All right, so let's get back into it and review what we got going on. So, yeah, you can see we had a 2022 model on the 5-minute to the upside when we got this change in state. We expanded. Pretty clear that was the case. Turn this down. Hey, what up, Ethan? Yeah, I guess let's close out of everything else then that we're not using right now. Wait, what the heck? Wait, look at this. Why does MNQ look like that? Why does MNQ look like that? Why is it delayed? I'm so confused. Or is it delayed? Let me see. Is that actually like looking different for like a good reason? No. What? What? Let's just refresh the page. That's probably why. What? The heck? Well, the chart. Hey, what up, Trade Intuition? Good morning, guys. Well, the chart is live. It's correct. It's just why is it not look the same as the chart over here? Why? What? Nah, I'm confused. I don't know. Obviously, it's glitched, but it looks like the data is live. That's the thing, so it doesn't really matter, I guess. Right. Let's just keep charting up. So, I'm not gonna worry what's out of my control, because obviously it's out of my control. So, yeah, I think. But yeah, good morning. What I'm confused about right now is why this data is not why does it look delayed? I'm so confused, man. Well, we're just gonna be sitting here waiting for something obvious, I guess. I'm definitely leaning bullish. If I had to pick a side, but okay, I don't know why it's like that. all I can do is keep showing up, keep trying, and stuff that's out of my control is out of my control. You know, I don't know why the Top Step screen is completely different. Look at this, right? I don't know what's going on here. You can see how this just giant candle on Top Step is just not, that's not real. You can see, like, I go to the 1 minute chart here, it's like that's just not, that's not the chart. I don't know why. It looks like it's live, so watching on phone will get on my computer to see better. Old man with old man eyes. What time frame is the chart? What time frame is the exchange? I mean, they're both on the 1 minute chart. I think it's just glitched right now. Maybe I'll just close out of it and try and reopen it. I know I already did that, but I guess I'll try again. But yeah, right now, back to what I was talking about. Okay, so now everything's glitched. Top Step's not even opening. Okay, great. Yeah. I don't know, man. Top Step's not working. So I might not even be able to trade today. Because I can't trade my personal right now for a specific reason. And I can't trade Top Step because it's not loading. And I can't trade on Tradeify because the data's not set up yet. So I guess maybe I just not trading. I don't know. But we'll just tape read at least. Like I said, nice 2022 model here. Very obvious. Let's see if this was in a dealing range. Sent you a message on Discord last night. Did you get a chance to read it? I don't know why, but it doesn't tell me when people when people send me a message. It's so annoying. I don't know why it doesn't tell me. Because I have to go in and I think I have to accept it first, and I don't know why. I don't want it to do that, but I didn't know that you sent me anything, so I'll go look at it. I don't know why it does that. Okay, so let's shift this up again. So it looks like from a dealing range perspective, from a gold block perspective, this was the 2022 model that occurred relative to gold block was this one, this break of structure, and then this fair value gap. So that, man, that would have been clean if you could have recognized this being in the fair value gap partition on the 5 minute. Right, you'd have to really recognize this, but if you could have recognized this 2022 model, yeah, I like Discord. I just don't know why it does stuff like that. It's honestly kind of weird. Okay, but like I was saying, right, we have this 2022 model on the 5 minute. See how the fair value gap forms in the dealing range here, right? Liquidity sweep. Liquidity sweep. I mean, we get like break of structure here, but like this one, pretty obvious break of structure right here, and then fair value gap. It's a gold block fair value gap, right? So then we could drop down to a 30-second, and we could actually pull down and see, okay, where's a 30-second? Where's a 30-second change in state? and let's say you took this one, then you'd be up at least 8R, which is crazy. Now you'd have to make sure you put stop loss below the low, but if you did, then you'd be up crazy. Question: how do you find FEG? Can you explain it? How do you find a fair value gap? Oh, because sometimes I draw them out. You're right, because sometimes I draw them out a little unconventionally. So a fair value gap is just that's a fair value gap, right? Anytime there's a gap between the wick prior and a wick after. But sometimes you just conceptualize it. So I've just gotten to the point where I just start conceptualizing them. Like if I were to merge, so I draw them out a little unconventionally, because if I were to merge these two candles into one candle, or no, these three candles into one candle, these four candles into one candle, these four candles into three candles, right? If I were to merge these four candles into three candles, the fair value gap would actually look like this. So I just take it as a conceptualization rather than a pattern, right? I don't pattern trade. I understand conceptually what even is a gap. It's just a gap. So most people mark out the gap like this. You can see how we don't even deliver to the bottom part of it. Why? Because the true gap was right here, right? You see why I kind of draw them out unconventionally, because it's what makes sense to me. So yeah, that's how I draw out a gap. You take the normal fair value gap, but then adjust it to kind of what makes sense. That's why I draw it out differently. Like here, right? Like I draw it out from here to here, or maybe even like this. Include the volume imbalance. But yeah, just draw out the gap. That's the main thing. Okay. See if it loads. Come on, Top Step. Come on. You got this. I could always try and execute it on my phone if it's not working on the computer. Yeah, Top Step's just broken right now. Okay, I'm gonna see if I can get Top Step on my phone. You never know. Maybe it'll work on my phone. Let's plug it in. It's like I don't have control over the stuff that goes wrong. It's like I can't control Top Step's not loading. I can't control Tradeify's and giving me the live data. I can't control that. These things. Awesome explanation. I would recommend just changing the time frame, labeling it forward as, for example, 15-minute for value gap instead of 5-minute for value gap. But it's on the 5-minute chart. That's the thing. So I get what you're saying, right? But it's not a 15-minute for value gap, because if it's a 15-minute, you can see there's no 15-minute gap here. So it's not the 15-minute. It's the 5-minute. So yeah, that's why. But it's just a screen time thing. I just have learned over time that merging candles together allows you to be more precise with your fair value gaps, because these 4 candles could be merged into 3, and then all of a sudden the gap would look like that. Okay, so it's not working on my phone either. So nothing is working. How fantastic is that? I don't know what to say about that. I don't know. It's not loading. I don't know. We do have SMT here. Not sure that will mean much, but we'll see. You never know. You can see that rejection block right there. That rejection block was Phoenix model, right? Because we had an SMT at the high, and we push into the rejection block. So for those who don't see it, right, here's the rejection block. And then, just taking a short out of that rejection block. And that's 4.5R. You see that? So we have SMT. And so if you took this on as a soup on S&P, same concept. I don't know, man. Is it gonna work now? No, it's not teaching incorrectly. It's just it is a fair value gap. It's still a fair value gap. I'm not gonna rename it. That's it's still a fair value gap. It's not a pattern. It's a lot deeper than a pattern, honestly. Alright. Nothing's loading, guys. This is so stupid. Okay, maybe I'll do nothing today. Might not take a trade then. Yeah, network timeout. Wow. So fun. Network timeout. So there we go, market open. Continued to expand up to the high. You can see this Phoenix model was just a temporary retrace. Once again, 5 a.m. my time, 7 a.m. Eastern time. That was what offered the opportunity, bro. It's getting to the point where 7:30 has offered the opportunity so much that I'm realizing that a lot of the time it's fake news. What everyone tells me that, like, Um, you got to get out on the charts at market open. Like sometimes 7:30 will provide the opportunity. And honestly, I'm not gonna take the trade on live stream, but if I see something like this, for instance, where this is such an obvious 2022 model, and we have this is such an obvious 22 model. If I see something like this, and obviously it's in the pre-market, it's before I'm even live, but if I see something like this with the vulture gap at the bottom here, what I will do is I'm going to take this on one of the sub accounts, and yeah, I'll just take this on one of the sub accounts. So So what is this, right? This is a volume imbalance at the bottom of a 2022 for value gap. This is something that Kirk and I discovered. Yeah, the more I study price action, the more I learn. You have to ignore everyone, man. Like I'll probably be watching the charts in that 5:30 to whatever it's called, from 5:30 to from 5:30 or 7:30 a.m. I'm gonna be on the charts watching and doing pre-market analysis. And if I see something like this, I'll take this on an alt account, because there will be opportunity at 7:30. And that's something they're not telling you. They don't want you to know that. People don't want you to know that there's opportunity at 7:30. But there is, and so I will take this on an alt account if I see this at 7:30. Like, it just annoys me. Like I don't trust people in the trading space. I don't trust them. Clearly, there's opportunities, and they don't want you to know. Like, people don't want you to be getting part in the opportunities that exist. Right, 7:30, and then as well, I think we were below midnight as well. And what time do we tap the vulture gap, by the way? 7:47. 11. No way. 7:47. What's 7:47, guys? What time is 7:47? What time is 7:47? 7:47 is 7 plus 4 is 11 plus 7 is 18. 1 plus 8 is 9. Oh yeah, I'll send you a friend request. But guys, this is pretty cool. We hit the volume balance of this 2022 model right at exactly 7:47, which is a 369 time. Yeah, I'm gonna accept your friend request right now. That's crazy. Guys, I just can't wait till I finally just hit one of these on personal. If I just hit one of these on personal, then it's like, okay, that changes the game. It shows that I can do it. And then once I hit one, I'll hit another one. And then once I hit another one, I'll hit another one. But it all starts with hitting the first one. And then when I hit the first one, it's just gonna be so much easier. Like, it just because you have conviction. Like, yo, I did it once. I've done this before. I can do this again. And I would target this liquidity pool right here. And then after I hit the first one, then I'll have conviction that I can do it again. And then I'll have conviction I'll do it again. And then I could just keep having conviction that I could keep doing it. Right? So for those who don't know what vulture gap is, it's something that Kirk and I discovered. And basically, you take the 2022 model, right? We got a liquidity sweep, a breaker structure, a fair value gap, the volume imbalance that rests at the bottom of a 2022 gap, right? And I merge these two candles together into one gap. The volume imbalance that occurs at the bottom is going to be very sensitive, and you'll know what time do we hit the volume imbalance, guys. 7:47. What time is 7:47? Right? 7:47 is 7 plus 4 plus 7 equals 18, and then that equals 1 plus 8, which is 9. So it's a 369 time is what I'm trying to get at. Not only is it a 369 time, but it's specifically a 9, which is, for my back testing, is the highest probability 369 time, right? Insane. Insane. So once again, guys, if I see this in the pre-market and I'm just chilling doing pre-market analysis, I'm gonna take this on one of my alt account, because even though it's not gonna be on my real accounts, hitting this on an alt account, 11-1. It's not gonna matter if it's half risk. Let me tell you that much. It's not gonna matter. It's gonna be a big win. So let's add this on to Monday. I'm supposed to have looked at the news, if there's news, but I don't think there is. 10, 20, 25. So 747, 2022. So I'm gonna call it 22-V for 22. I was part of the move. Dang. Now I'll just call it Vulture, because that's what it is. And this is on the 1 minute. So I accepted your friend request. I don't like anything in these markets right now because we're back up at the high. We're back up at the high, and that was kind of the draw on liquidity. So, I mean, it's just annoying. Like, if I wanted to take a trade to the upside. Now I'm like, okay, well, I guess we have the RTH gap below, which we could use as a draw on liquidity. But we would need to see some kind of market maker sell model form, and I don't know. Right now it looks like we're expanding up. So it's definitely tricky. It's tricky. I can't force anything. And also I can't even take a trade because I'm locked out. Not locked out, but they're all the different accounts I have are all glitched. On Tradeify, I just got to do a new account on Tradeify. And the data's not set up yet, so I can't take a trade on that. On Top Step, if for some reason I can't log in. Apparently, it's just a network timeout right now. And then on Personal, I need to wait for more funds to get deposited. So yeah, there's nothing I can do really. Just take a trade. So take a demo trade. Come on. Okay, let's maybe trade a file work. Who knows, right? Maybe the data is updated now. Nope. Data is still delayed. Imagine if delayed data. Imagine if delayed data you could execute on. Yeah, that would be awesome. If I could just execute on delayed data, I could be a millionaire in like 10 minutes. No, maybe not that quick, but I could be a millionaire in like less than a day. Oh my gosh. That's hilarious. So yeah, guys, we obviously had the 2022 model at the lows at 730. That was nice. I don't know, man. At this point, I don't want to take anything because we already kind of had this distribution. So sometimes you just have to know when not to trade, and that's kind of right now. Now, then again, may there be low time frame opportunity? Possibly, right? Possibly. I am just going to say sidelined, especially because none of my accounts are even working. So, yep. And no reason to take a trade if I can't, if it's not letting me. So we're chilling. We are chilling. Big chilling. Big chilling. Man, could you imagine taking that vulture gap? Whew. That would have been sweet. Imagine if we took that vulture gap. So yeah, honestly, guys, we were just chilling watching price. Honestly, I don't think I'll be able to take a trade on any of my real accounts because none of them are working. That sucks for me, but that's okay. We'll just tape read them. So, yeah, there's nothing I can do about that. We'll just tape read. Honestly, sometimes I do better when I just tape read anyway. I guess we were supposed to look at news. Like, I can't even be upset. Guess what that means? That means I'm not going to take a loss today. Which is great. I love not taking losses. Not taking losses is awesome. I hate taking losses. Trade, make money. Yeah, so here's the thing, bro. I can't trade on any of my accounts today because Top Step's being glitched. It's the logins timing out. I don't know what the heck's going on with that. I got a new account with Tradeify, but the data hasn't been set up yet, and I'm just waiting for that to load. So I have to wait like a couple hours or something like that. My Apex accounts will be renewed in a couple days, but not for a couple days. And my personal account, I kind of need to deposit more funds, and I did, but it's not there yet. So, yeah, there's nothing I can do. There's nothing I can do right now to take a trade. I can't take a trade on any of my account. I can tape read right now, which is what I'll do. But yeah, as far as taking a real trade, it's kind of out of my control. I I can't take a real trade today. But guys, I did really like this 2022 model. I really did. I really, really did. What's up with Top Step? I'll show you. So I guess I shouldn't show my login, but once I try and log in, right? Yeah. Look, we're monitoring an AWS outage. Some services may be degraded. And so what happened is I try and log in, and it's breaking. So yeah, I don't know what's going on with Top Step, but there's definitely something wrong. So I can't take a trade on any of my accounts. Like Apex isn't Apex. I haven't got the accounts renewed yet for Apex. They're gonna get renewed in a couple days. I got a new account with the new one, Tradeify. That one's honestly, I think that prop firm is pretty sick. I just got one account. I did not get the free funded one. I just got the cheaper one. But that one I have to wait for the data to get approved, and that's just it's taking a while. Top Step's not working. Apex hasn't been renewed yet, and my personal I can't trade right now because I gotta put more funds in because I made a mistake. So, but yeah, it's okay. Yeah, and if you guys are wondering what the mistake was on personal, it's not because I tilted. I've never gone on tilt in I've never gone on a tilt in 8-10 months or so. But what happened is, I made a stupid decision in the moment to switch the daily loss limit to be higher because I executed the trade on personal when it wasn't supposed to be on personal because of the risk. So what happened? I'm only supposed to take the trade on personal if it can fit inside the stop loss that's required to risk however much money I'm risking on personal, right? And what happened is I realized that I couldn't put the stop loss where I wanted to, and so I was like, since I'm already in the trade, I'm just gonna make the stop loss bigger. And it's not because I went on tilt, guys. I've never gone on tilt, but I made a stupid decision in the moment, and so I need to deposit more funds. But it was not a tilt. It definitely 100% was not a tilt, and I'm never going on tilt again. I haven't gone on tilt in, I don't know. I haven't gone on tilt in, since the very beginning of this year. And I'm never going on tilt again. But as far as me not making stupid decisions, now that's a different story. You know, I'm a human being. I accidentally make a stupid decision in the moment. Okay, I learned my lesson. I'm not going to ever touch that daily loss limit. Ever. Even if the trade stop loss can't be placed where it's supposed to be, and I entered the trade, you got to exit out of the trade. You shouldn't have been in that trade in the first place because I had the stop loss not where it needed to be, and so I should not have even been in the trade because I messed it up. I wasn't supposed to execute that trade on personal. Lesson learned. The point is lesson learned. What I'm trying to get at is I'm never going on tilt, and that was not a tilt. It was just a stupid decision. And so now you guys kind of get the idea of what happened. So, but yeah, point is I can't take a trade on any of my accounts right now. There's nothing I can do. Do you treat it as your job? That's the goal one day, but not right now. It's not my real job yet. One day, hopefully, be cool. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like I said, I've been bullish today, and I'm probably not going to be not bullish. Because, as I said, the draw on liquidity, we got the 4-hour inversion. We're drawing towards all-time highs. So, I don't think there's any reason to short. And we missed... Because I wasn't watching... I should have been watching the charts. I mean, obviously, I couldn't take a trade, but if I could have taken a trade... guys, I really do think the whole narrative that you can't take a trade at 7:30 is a complete lie. Actually, I know it's a complete lie. Why do I know it? Because 730 is the true open. Once we get the true open, we're looking for our entry. We're looking for our entry below the true open. So the whole narrative, you can't take a trade at 730, that's so stupid. 730 is sometimes going to provide the best opportunities. You can see here we got a liquidity sweep, a break of structure, and then a fair value gap, and then we expanded. It was just like perfect, and it was right below the true open too. And so guys, sometimes you just have to determine what's actually happening in these markets and then learn from it, not what everyone else is saying. Like clearly, if this were to happen again, right, where we had a, let's say we had that Fairbot 2022 model form below midnight and 7:30, and I was on the charts right around 7:50 Eastern, I would take this on an alt account with 1 micro, and that's the lesson for the future is be watching the charts in case you get something amazing like this in the morning, and then in case you take it, you can take it on an alt account, because when you do get it, you want to be able to take advantage of it. Even if it's not in my normal trading window, I'll take this on one of my alt accounts on half risk is what I'm trying to get at. But you get what I'm saying? Liquidity sweep, right? We sweep out these relatively equal lows, break of this high, and then fair value gap that forms. You see what I'm saying? And then the volume imbalance at the bottom of the gap being the exact low, right? And the time that it occurs being a 369 time, it was a 747. Exactly. That's exactly when we push into it. Is the first one to provide gap there? Great question. Yeah, first one for value gaps right here. Thing about this is, my bias is kind of a little ruined. I honestly was bullish, and I don't want to be bearish, and I don't want to long this high. So I don't know, if I see anything, it'll probably be a tape read. I'm not super interested in actually trying to force a trade up here, especially because none of my accounts are even working right now. So maybe you could consider this first strike. To me, it's not that obvious of a first strike, but you never know, right? You never know. You always like to just record things I notice, right? It's possible this ends up being first strike. I'm not even surprised it's working out at all, actually. These like weird ones that I don't expect to work sometimes work. I don't know why. But we did not dig very deep into the first one for value gap is the thing. There we go. First strike, baby. First strike. Go, go, go. Definitely be break even at this point. Do you guys see what first strike is? You get it? You go, you wait for a change in state retest off of the first presented for value gap on the aligned time frame. What's your Discord? You know my Discord. It's in my bio. You know it. We might be losing momentum here. It's possible. We'll just have to see. We'll have to see. I'd definitely be at break even at this point. But once again, I didn't think this was that obvious anyway. This is just a tape read. But why am I tape reading it? Because sometimes the not obvious first strikes actually do end up working, and it's just something I've noticed. So you might want to mark first spin for value gap out like this. Let's go! Let's go! Well done. Well done, D-Trader. Well done. So actually, if you think about it like this, like if we merge the first spin for value gap to include this wick, all of a sudden we actually do dig decent into it, right? It's not bad. And then when you look at it like this, it's actually okay. Yeah, when you look at it like this, I don't mind it at all. It's okay. It's not good, it's not bad. It's just a thing. Like I said, guys, this is not an obvious one, but I'm just observing it. So I guess you'd get break even at that point. No, maybe not. Okay. I'd be at break even there. Once again, not an obvious trade. I just wanted, since Snowman mentioned the first strike, I wanted to look at it. Honestly, maybe should not have even tape rated it because, yeah, it's just not that obvious. Like I said, I don't feel the need to try and take a trade when we are. Let's go for what? I said let's go for D-Trader for posting his profits. I was saying let's go because he was posting his profits in the Discord. That's why. Once again, guys, I don't want to take a trade right now because I was bullish down here. We're like toward the end of distribution. This is not a good time to long, but it's also not a good time to short because the higher time from drawn liquidity, well, I'm still thinking we'll draw up to all-time highs. So it's just we're in this weird situation where I don't want to take a I definitely don't want to take either. I honestly don't want to take either. Obviously, I think if I had to choose, it'd be better to take a long. Because I think we are expanding. Obviously, we had a 2022 gap here, and now we're expanding higher. And I think we'll keep drawing up. But, like, that doesn't mean that I should. Especially because we had the RTH gap below. We're in the 950 to 1010 macro. It's a good point. I can't trade on any of my accounts, so if I take anything, it's gonna be a tape read. But I can't take a real trade today because none of my accounts are loading. It's kind of complicated. I already tried to explain it to you guys. So, but yeah. So one thing about the 950 to 1010 macro is like you kind of want to pay attention to what. I have a video coming out on this later this week, but when it comes to macros, you want to pay attention to the context of the AMD, right? We already had accumulation. So in order to determine is a macro going to work or is a macro not going to work, you kind of have to determine the AMD first. Like what's the AMD going on in the market right now? And you can see that we've kind of already had this AMD going on here where we had accumulation, manipulation, 2022 model below our true opens, and then expansion. So I would think that the macros over here after the expansion, they're all going to be lower probability. And that's why you're seeing this really, really mundane 950 to 1010 macro, it's because, well, look at the AMD that already occurred, right? Market, the opportunity, in my opinion, was deep in pre-market at around 730, and a lot of people would say, why would you ever trade that time? Guys, if I see this opportunity, this 2022 model, I'm going to take this on one of my alt accounts on half risk, because you can see how perfectly we react off that volume imbalance at the bottom of this 3-minute for value gap. And yes, I'm merging these two candles together. According to my back testing, it's still a gap, right? Still a fair value gap. It's just what makes sense to me. It's conceptualization of a gap. And so anyway, accumulation, right? This whole range is accumulation. We manipulate the low. So here's your liquidity sweep, here's your breaker structure, here's your fair value gap, here's your volume balance. The volume imbalance at the bottom, I refer to this as the vulture gap, because it's just the name of it. We named it, Kirk and I. Basically, anytime you see a volume balance at the bottom of your 2022 model, super sensitive. You can see how that was an exact low. And the cool thing about this is, if you take the time of that red candle, 747, pre-market was the move today. And that's what I'm trying to get at. Like, sometimes, guys, you just have to be content with the fact that you're not going to necessarily catch something in here that's high probability. And so you just have to be content with just sitting and watching and waiting and then doing nothing if nothing calls your name. Because clearly, we kind of got this move already. But the cool thing about this 2022 model, where we tap this fair value gap here, is this volume imbalance, the candle that purges the volume imbalance on the 3-minute. The candle that purges the volume balance at the bottom of the 3-minute gap for the 2022 model. Right? So this is a 3-minute 2022 fair value gap, and then a volume imbalance at the bottom. What time does this candle purge the volume imbalance, guys? What time does it purge the volume imbalance? 7:47. So for the people who don't believe in the 369 stuff, okay? I mean, I didn't believe in it either for a long time, but like, think about it as a confluence to increase your conviction in the trade. Same with SMT, right? SMT is a confluence to increase your conviction in your trade. If I see that this 747 candle purges the volume imbalance, which is the exact low, right at 747, which when you add them together, get the digital root, right? It's 18. And then when you take that, 1 plus 8, it's 9, right? 9 is the highest probability of the 3, 6, and 9 from what I've seen, right? And you see how that perfectly purges the volume balance at that 9, 3, 6, and 9, at that 9 time, right? So for those who don't understand, 747 is the digital root of that is 7 plus 4 plus 7. You add up all the digits, that gives you the digital root. 7 plus 4 plus 7 is 18. Then you have to do it again. You have to add 1 plus 8 and you get 9. And that's the digital root. And if it's a 3, 6, or 9, it's a higher probability time for you to expect an inducement or a manipulation. Right? So this was a 9. And you can see that that was the exact low. So for those who don't get it, I'm not here to try and convince you. It's just a confluence. Just like an SMT is a confluence. But yeah, what up, Bardo? How's it going, Bardo? Bob? It's been a while since I've seen you. And then the other cool thing is you can take the 22-minute true open as well. And it's actually lined at the same exact spot. And check this out, right? These double up here. And then you get a third manipulation right here and right here. Isn't this crazy, right? 730, and then we have 730 right here, and then 752, which is the 90-minute true open. And see how we get another opportunity to enter within the 90-minute cycle as well, right? So first the opportunity was this vulture volume imbalance. Then we get 2 more opportunities below 752 and below 730. Just same here. Taking things slow, just learning every day and getting better. You know what I mean? So yeah, like I said, I have a video coming out on this later this week, but macros are really only going to work when you pair them with the AMD that is being traded. For instance, guys, this was the AMD here, right? Let's see if this occurred during a macro. Yeah, look. We tapped that right before what? The 750 to 810 macro. So this is a macro from here to here. And then when does the market start pumping? Right at 750, 750, 751, 752, 750. And then obviously we don't go that high. But still, from here to here, you can definitely make the case that that was a significant price run. And so you kind of just have to, you have to use common sense. And then look at this one, by the way. Same thing. From 20 to 40, that's the Hydra macro. When do we induce 730 and 722? When does that inducement happen? When does the 730 and 752 inducement happen? Once again, 752 is the 90-minute true open. When does that inducement happen? I mean, obviously we have this one as well. But this is the higher probability one. Why is this the higher probability one? Because look what time it occurs. Right at the start of the Hydra macro, right? 820 is the Hydra macro. 820 to 840. And actually, we don't actually move up that much. But still, right? The fact that this occurs right at 820 is cool. But yeah, like I said, I'm not really looking to take anything. That's crazy, guys. I'm gonna have to look at that. Right into the 75% of the 20. Wait, let me look. wait. You took the 75% of the range? What did you do? Okay, let's delete everything. You took the last 20 days. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay. So you take this. Hang on. I'm going to turn off the little right labels and the top and bottom labels. Like this? No, don't do that. What am I doing? Used to trade NQ, not my liking asset, to be honest. That's fair. You got to do what works for you. What am I doing wrong? Don't do that. Use the tariff news candle. Tariff news candle? Okay. That's all the way down there. I don't get it. You mean this whole thing? This thing? Like this. Oh, you was talking about this? Oh yeah, look. Look at that. Wow, look at how the model got framed based off of that. I see what you're saying now. So what level is that? 25,068? Now I'm starting to get it. You use 25,068 to identify the manipulation. 25,068. So this is that higher time frame 75% level you guys are talking about. That's sick. That's sick. I can't even lie. That's sick. So accumulation. Dang, when you look at it like that, 20-day. That's sick. Is that what this was? It's 20-day IPDA 75%. That's sick. And so we can identify like, yo, accumulation occurred into, right? Accumulation occurred here. Manipulation occurred right here. That's so sick, bro. And I think you used the last, 20 days, right? What do I think about the 944 short? I'll take a look at that in just a second. But first I want to make sure I understand this. Yeah, so we take this, the last 20 days, so that's going to be from here to here. We split it into quadrants. See, now this, the last 20 days, it doesn't fit really well. That doesn't fit as well, honestly, if you include the entire last 20 days. Oh, wait. Maybe I measured it out wrong. Okay, I'm not going to get too caught up on it. I get the idea. I get the idea. By the way, what do you think about the 944 short? Let's go ahead and look at that. 944 short. The inversion. So, bro, higher time frame draw on liquidity. That's the reason it failed. I mean, at this time, the market, look at the higher time frame, bro. The higher time frame, we inverse this 4-hour for VIA gap with clear AMD. Higher time frame 4-hour inversion. With this in mind, as well, right? The thing I said when I first got on the stream today is that we have this daily for VIA gap here. And you can see how the bodies are all respecting this daily for VIA gap. And then something that a lot of other people that don't talk about, but I talk about, is like, yo, like, we're moving exponential on this along this curve here on NASDAQ. We're actually moving exponential along this curve, right? This is a high resistance. It's high resistance. It's not low resistance. It's high resistant. So with all that in mind, bro, I see this as very bullish. This is kind of like combining everything together. I see this as accumulation, manipulation, distribution. I see this as accumulation, manipulation, distribution. This was right below the true month open. So we get this 4-hour inversion for VIA gap, and then higher time frame draw on liquidity. Well, seems like we're drawing up to this high. So when we have this buy model down here, remember this buy model that I just framed? Let's go down. I just don't think the market was bearish. That's the main reason. I think you can clearly see, right? Accumulation all through here. Let's get rid of this for now. Accumulation, manipulation of the low. 3-minute break of structure. 3-minute for VIA gap. 3-minute volume balance below the true opens. And then expansion to the upside here. You can clearly see that that was the case. And because we're displacing so much, the market's obviously doing this for a reason. We're obviously going and displacing up for a reason. that's why I have not been messing with anything in this price range. Like, the opportunity for me, at least what I would have liked to have taken, was probably this pre-market 2022 model. And so I'm looking at price action over here, and I'm saying, okay, AMD's kind of already occurred. Unless we get something really obvious, I'm not going to take anything. So to answer your question, this is just not an obvious inversion. This is not obvious at all, especially because it's against the bias. We're in a buy model. But yeah, it's just not obvious. This is not obvious. If it's not obvious, don't mess with it. Yeah. Like I said, guys, I can't really trade any of my accounts today. I have 4 different accounts now, and I can't trade any of them. I already explained it. I don't want to have to explain it again, but I can't trade any of my accounts today. Like, every single one, there's some issue for some reason that I can't trade it. So I'm just having to tape read today. I'll go through them again. Cannot trade Top Step because their system's down right now for some reason. Personal, I have to wait for my funds to deposit. What's the other one? Apex, I'm getting Apex accounts renewed, but that's not happening for 2 days. And I got actually a Tradeify account, guys, and I just got it over the weekend. And I got the cheap one. I didn't get the expensive one. But, like, the data is not loading for some reason, and I have to figure that out. So there's nothing I can do. Nothing I can do, guys. We're just chilling. We're waiting. Nothing I can do. I'm tape reading. But I do see the market being in a buy model, expanding higher. You can clearly see how this was a 2022 model. We had accumulation, manipulation, and all those people saying, oh, don't trade 730. Don't trade that early. Like, don't trade pre-market. Like, guys, if I see this perfectly tap the volume balance at 747, I'm going to take that as on 1 micro on an alt account. I'm taking that on 1 micro on my half risk. I have alt accounts for half risk for outside of my trading hours, right? If I see this tap the volume balance at 747, I'm taking that on a half risk account because, dude, this is going to be even though it's a half risk trade, such a high RR trade. Like, oh my gosh. I'm taking that. You're asking Shaney if you trade the first 30 minutes. Yeah. Anyway, guys, this is why I don't listen to other people. I don't listen to other people's narratives about the market. I don't listen to anything besides what I learned from the market in my own back testing. Like, someone else might be screaming, hey, don't trade in the pre-market. Don't trade, like, around 7:30 Eastern. Like, if I saw an opportunity at 7:30 Eastern and it was this good, I'd take it. I'd just do it on my half risk account because it's not in my normal trading hours. But this is really obvious, right? Accumulation, manipulation, break of structure. The opportunity perfectly occurred, by the way, after the true open, below the midnight open. And then expansion. OG technical analysis. Nice, guys. Nice. Yeah, man, the market maker buy model was so obvious. And so, like, sometimes you just have to basically, you have to use your own conviction and back testing and stop listening to what everyone else is saying. Oh, hey, don't trade this. Don't trade this time. Don't trade that time. Go into the market and back test yourself. A lot of people say that, like, you have to wait till 10 a.m. or whatever, right? And I'm like, it's not like that's not a bad idea. It's a good idea, but if I see a very valuable trade, like, and it's outside my trading hours, like, I could take this on my half risk account. Is what I'm trying to say. But there are people who will say that kind of stuff. Gold had a banger. Dang, Bob, definitely send that. Send that in the what's it called? In the Discord. Send that. Yeah, like I said, guys, bias is bullish, and there's not really much opportunity. Anyone who's been trying to make opportunity out of nothing has been shorting in here. And guys, shorts are low probability because we're expanding up. Longs are low probability because we're in so deep in premium. So I'm not doing anything. I'm just sitting on the sidelines understanding that. The one opportunity, if I was forced for my life to take something, like if I had to for my life, was that first presented for value gap change in state out of it. And I have a video coming out on this probably later this week. We'll just have to see. But we had the first presented for value gap right here, right? I'm marking it out like this because you guys know I was just trying to tell this other guy that was just here, like sometimes your screen time tells you like you should mark out a gap like that instead of this. Anyway, first presented for value gap. See how we perfectly we get that fill there. So yeah, I'm marking it out like this just because it makes sense for me to do that. And then you can clearly see here, if we take a change in state out of this first presented for value gap, like if I had to take a trade, I'm saying if I had to. Obviously, this is not high probability, but if I had to, absolutely had to take a trade, well then accumulation right here, first presented for value gap was getting back tested, and I knew the draw on liquidity was higher. So then we have a 15-second or a 5-second change in state, either one. You can really take either, and then bang, we continue higher. So this was my first strike model where basically you wait for change in state retest out of the first presented for value gap. And actually this change in state was even a better RR actually. And then you can take this as an inducement of this low. And now look at that. Look at how clean that was. Can you do quick rule for first presented for value gap? I get it wrong a lot. Quick rule for first presented? What do you mean? Quick rule? Like how to trade it? What do you mean? I'm trying to understand what you're saying, Snowman. I definitely want to do that though. Like what's the main rule? The main rule is figure out the draw on liquidity, and then based off the draw on liquidity, you're going to determine whether the for value gap, the first presented for value gap should be respected normally or whether it should be inversed, and then you're gonna take 15 or a 5-second change state delivery out of it, based off of the draw on liquidity. So like if the draw on liquidity is higher, like it is here, well then I see how we come down, we use it once. I like the second usage right here, right? Then we get 15-second out of this, and then we deliver higher, or a 5-second. What makes it the first presented for value gap? Oh yeah, let me answer that. First I'm gonna show how this would have been a crazy snipe, right? If let's say you induced this right here, and then you had your stop loss below here. What a crazy snipe. Like, it's such a low time frame trade, but still clean, right? First presented for value gap, 5-second change in state, inducement, bang. And then theoretically, like if you were a degen and you did not go break even and you just held this, well, you'd still be up actually, which is crazy. Is it after 9:30? Yes. Let me explain. Bob, I'm gonna look at that later. But yeah, the first presented for value gap is just the first for value gap that happens after 9:30, and it's going to be specifically on the 1-minute chart. You're going to look for it. Don't look for it. I mean, maybe it will work on the other charts. I don't know, but the one that I use is on the 1-minute chart. And so basically, the first for value gap that forms after 9:30, and do not include if the fair value gap happens at 9:30. It needs to happen after 9:30. So if the fair value gap happens at 9:31, it's valid. If it happens at 9:30, it's not valid. And then basically mark out that first presented for value gap, and then you can clearly see there right here. Here was where it was used, and then we expanded off of it. So yeah, this 9:30 candle doesn't count. It has to be after 9:30 at 9:31. And you can see why this doesn't count, right? Because sometimes 9:30 is just going to have a crazy explosion. And it's like, well, this is not a good one to use. This one is. And then if you want to get even more precise, like you can do what I do with fair value gaps and just merge them all together, like squish them all. Squish the other wicks into it, and then all of a sudden you get a way more precise gap. Want to know a secret about the first presented for value up, Jake? I haven't told anyone. Yes, bro. Yes, I do. Like I said, though, guys, we're still in this buy model expanding just way higher, right? First presented for value up got retest. That's why I'm crazy profitable. Yeah, tell me, bro. Tell me. Tell me. What is it? I want to know. Oh man, I'm getting a little too hyped up. Yeah, guys, like I said, I'm not wanting to take anything here. Like if I had to pick a side, I'm bullish. But that doesn't mean that I want a long all the way in premium here. So that's where it gets tricky. Down here, I wanted to take this 2022 model. So sometimes you just have to accept that you might not have got the opportunity that you wanted to today, and that's fine. Don't force anything in these choppy, less than optimal, mediocre, sideways chop upside conditions. There's also a first presented for value gap in macro times. I just dropped a bombshell. Really? First presented for value gap in macro times? So like from 950 to 1010, the first gap. Dang, bro. That's kind of cool. It makes sense. Because the macro is going to expand price, so you got to basically say, okay, is this first presented gap going to get inversed or respected based off the drawn liquidity, and then use that as a confluence to target the drawn liquidity? It makes a lot of sense, actually. That makes a lot of sense. Just how 930 will deliver price. Okay, so guys, just for fun, let's just try and figure out like how far could we go? Let's project this out. 1, 2, 3. So we could definitely continue up to this fourth. So we'll just have to see. But like I said, guys, I can't take a trade on any of my accounts right now, so I'm kind of just tape reading. So we'll just have to see. TGR made 67. Me and TGR cooked today. No way. That's crazy. My mentor. Nice, bro. Nice. Now my phone's not loading either. Okay, nothing I like, guys. Nothing I like. I can't force anything if there's nothing I like. It's okay. It's okay to do nothing. That is okay. And also, like I said, I literally can't take a trade, so. Load. My phone's not loading. After your final TP hits, dang. I don't know, guys. I feel like I'm too energetic right now. I don't have the energy. I don't have the energy for this. What is CBOT? That's just a name of one of the data providers. There's CME and there's CBOT. I don't know what they actually stand for. but they provide data like the CME does. What did Dodgy take today? What did Dodgy take? Tell me. What did Dodgy take? Is 1035 part of 369? Is it tapping a Vervia gap? Oh yeah, 1035. Yeah, it should be 1035. Because 10 would be 1 plus 3 is 4 plus 5 is 9. Maybe. I just don't know if it's obvious enough. It might not be obvious enough. Plus we're in deep premium. It's not. Here's the thing about it, Snowman. It's a confluence for when you already have the model framed. You have all the other pieces of the puzzle fit together. Dodgy took Wyman Gold. Okay, there we go. That makes sense because I was like, there's no opportunities today. I was like, what? Okay, well, I'll look at that later. But here's the thing, Snowman. Here's the thing about 369. If you just think about it like, oh, this is a specific time we need to expect the move, I'm gonna take a trade. That you're looking at it all wrong. It's not like that. It's like you have to bake the cake, put on the frosting, do all these other things before you can add the sprinkles. The 369 is the sprinkle, the cherry on top. It's a cherry on top of the ice cream after you've already prepared, after you've already done everything else, after you've framed the model, after you have the exact entry. Like, it's like, if I'm baking a cake, okay, I got to go to the store. I have to get the ingredients. I have to actually put it in the oven. I have to put the frosting on it. I do every little thing. And then 369 is the little sprinkle on top, right? 369 is the little sprinkle on top that's just saying, hey, here's another confluence that this is the time you're going to enter. If you go into the market and you're like, okay, 5-minute gap here. Okay, this is at 10:35. Let's go. We're gonna go long. It's pointless. You know what I'm saying? It's pointless. It's going to mean absolutely nothing. You're going to get absolutely wrecked. But in a case like this, where we had that model framed very, very precisely, by the way, and we were below all the true opens, and we tapped the volume balance at the bottom of the 2022 gap, right at 747, that's a cherry on the cake. The cherry on the cake. Or the cherry on... Not cherry on the cake. Cherry on the ice cream. I don't know, man. You get the idea. Right? You can't use it unless you already have every other piece that's needed for the trade. What flavor is the ice cream? Dude, that's up to you. That's up to the trader. You gonna make your own ice cream. I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, you see what I'm saying? Like, this is a very, very precise model, and the 369 just tells you, okay, this red candle into the volume balance, this one, that's the one I want to grab, right? That's the candle I want to go bang, and that's how you bottom tick, and that's how you top tick. It tells you exactly which candle you should be buying. What happened, Bardo or Bob? Wait, what was the FU long? Probably, I guess you're saying this one, right? Yeah, basically, like, anyone trying to short here, longs go back and wreck them, and you can kind of see why. Market is just expanding. It's not bearish, and so you have to understand that. Guys, I don't know. It's like, it's hard. It's hard because no opportunity. I mean, there was opportunity, but I'm not seeing any right now. Okay, both plays called live. I'm looking at Dodgy's tweet. NQ didn't retrace to 5-minute gap, sadly. So Dodgy took a trade on YM. Almost got stopped out. Is barely 1.5 R. He was super close to getting stopped out, and then he took a trade on gold. Just very, very simple inversions, and that's just, yeah, good for him. Good job, Dodgy. Good job, Dodgy. Good job, Dodgy. Exactly, Bob. That's exactly right. Like, had I been watching the chart at this exact time, which I'm gonna start doing while I'm doing my pre-market analysis, and I'd seen this, I will take this on half risk on an alt account. But as far as today, it was just a lesson learned that that's something to consider doing in the future. And then as of right now, you can clearly see that this is just not. This is just high resistant exponential curve right here. TP hit for 15R. Dang, bro. It's insane. It's actually insane. But yeah, you can clearly see how this is like a high resistant exponential. It's not even just high resistant. It's high resistant and it's like exponentially moving. So maybe we'll come back down to here, but WBLJ, W. Oh man, I'm getting tired. Let's see if my accounts are working yet. Will Top Step let me log in? Nope. Top Step is still down. What about the new account that I got? But you gotta go now? Okay, sounds good, Shani. Not gonna lie, I don't want to watch price right now. I'm gonna watch on my phone. I don't want to watch this. This is too boring. Like, I will watch on my phone, like, periodically, but I can't watch this, dude. It's just, I know that there's nothing. There's nothing right now, so. It is what it is. just so boring. I don't know, man. This is not really tradable. Like I said, you guys know what I saw today. It was AMD at around 7:30. And in the future, I'll be more aware to take that on a half risk account. And then we had the first value gap, first strike. To me, it wasn't obvious enough. And I also don't have my accounts to be able to take a trade. So it's all good. It's all good. But yeah, I'm not doing anything because I don't like anything. So. And the reason the stream is still going is because kind of have a rule where I have to keep the stream going until the end of my live training window in case there's something. So, but the thing about it is, I can't even take a trade on the accounts. So. I actually might just end the stream today, guys, because I literally can't take a trade on the accounts. If I could take a trade on the accounts, how do you do your top-down analysis and what you look for? Yeah, I'll go over that real quick, and then I'm going to end the stream, because today's an exception because I can't even take a trade. There's not even an opportunity to take a trade because my accounts aren't working. So yeah, that's the exception. So what do I look at for top-down analysis? So honestly, just look for what stands out on the chart and what's obvious. To me, it was obvious that we had this daily gap here and that we had all these bodies push into this, right? We swept out the low with all these bodies pushing into this. Then you just move down to the lower time frame. Then you look at the next thing. Okay, this 4-hour inverse. Okay, that's a good sign we could continue higher. Right, on this chart it was accumulation manipulation, and then on this it's accumulation manipulation. Another thing I personally like to look at, it's not very common that people look at it, but I think it's amazingly valuable, is true opens, right? We are below this, which is true month open, right? You see how the manipulation occurred below true month open? Where is it? So you can see how that manipulation occurred below true month open. That new week opening gap. We had a true week open from last week right here. So this manipulation was below true week open, true month open. It was below midnight of the day that it occurred. So we had that manipulation occur at the bottom of all those true opens, at the bottom of the daily gap. So that's how you identify manipulation. And then based off of where you identify manipulation, you trade against that manipulation. So we had all the true opens to help us identify the manipulation. Okay, the manipulation occurred below all of them. Now I'm going to take a trade against the manipulation and on side of distribution. So now my bias is bullish against the manipulation of all these true opens, right? If you don't see it, let me mark this out. Midnight. And then the true week open of last week. And then you can clearly see how by using the true opens, I can frame a super high probability spot for manipulation to occur, which is below all of them. And where's the true week open? So right here, and we already have our higher time frame PD array. So then I'm just expecting expansion against that manipulation. Could this be a Phoenix model for short? Highly doubt it. Highly doubt it. Reason being is because let's look at this 4-hour inversion, right? This 4-hour inversion just looks like a good dodgy setup, and and then combine that with the higher time frame having manipulated, and that low time frame Phoenix model, whatever you're looking at, very unlikely it's gonna hold because, well, where's the draw on liquidity? Draw on liquidity is back up to ERL from this daily for value gap, so all-time highs. I don't think any low time frame Phoenix model is likely gonna work here. I think we'll draw up the all-time highs. But that's just my opinion. You gotta go off your own conviction. So yeah, of course, bro. But yeah, I think today's an exception. I'm gonna end the stream early because I can't even take a trade. I can't even take a trade because I don't have my account set up. So today's an exception. I'm gonna end the stream a little early. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace out.